Sniper Elite 3, a game that's been sitting in my hard drive for a really long time, and I finally decided to sit down and finish it, and that's why we have a review here. So why did that happen? And does this game hold up well? I'll try to answer these questions today, while still doing your regular review. The Sniper Elite series has got some form of popularity around its second entry in the series, with its X-ray sniper deaths that would become a staple of the series. As far as budget goes, it's clear Sniper Elite 3 is not a AAA game, but it often does punch above its weight in graphical quality. This game in particular was an end of the 7th generation game and definitely pushes those consoles really hard. But while these graphics were impressive at the time, age has turned them into just another World War II game. This one with a very particular focus on the color yellow. I'll be honest, it doesn't look great and I would bet it's only gonna look worse with time. But as of right now, it doesn't look bad enough that I think it would be a deterrent from playing it. And the night missions don't look as jarring, I think. The reason for this yellow look comes from the setting. This game takes place in North Africa, mostly in desert and sandy areas, with little vegetation, which at least makes it stand out in the sea of other World War II games, which is a nice way to put it. The soundtrack, which I'm really just mentioning to say that I did, it's okay, it's not really memorable, but what does stand out sound-wise is the sound design. While most guns sound very standard, snipers have a real punch to them purely with sound. Not just that, but all the effects around the sniper, like the sounds during the X-ray kills. It does really add a lot to it, in a positive way. And it makes sense that most of the effort was put into these guns, given the subject of the game. But it also makes it feel like somewhat of a deterrent when there is such a big difference in quality between weapons. The story mostly exists to justify the location and your missions, much like other Sniper Elite games, so I won't go too hard into it for being kinda generic, but it's definitely not the reason you should play this game. What I will say though is that it's a prequel to Sniper Elite 2 or V2, whatever you wanna call it, and it's weirdly reminiscent of the original Metal Gear Solid for one really weird reason, which I'm not gonna spoil because it is an end of the game kind of thing. But yeah, still not good if that's what you wanna know. So finally, the important bit. The reason most people play this series, the gameplay. Much like its predecessors, it's a stealth game, but now with a bigger focus on open environments over a linear structure. Missions now start you in these open maps and you're given objectives to do in them. You have main objectives that progress the story and also side objectives. Missions usually revolve around killing a specific character or destroying artillery. And while simple, they do enough to make these interesting. For example, having you acquire intel before killing a target, and intel being behind some sort of guarded area or locked door. These, I believe, also works to make you engage with the stealth more. As a sniper game, you would usually stay away from the enemies, which can be a bit annoying as your character moves around a bit too slowly, especially given the openness of the maps. Side objectives are also very simple and sometimes even very similar to the main objectives, but I would recommend doing this as they can add some cool moments of animation, but also because in its 8 missions, Sniper Elite 3 never repeats a map and makes it rather a short game. Also, levels, while unique, a lot of them have a tendency to look and feel very similar. The enemy AI is very simple as well. They walk in patterns and have a cone of vision, but they are very sensitive to sound, which is a big focus in this game. Snipers are loud weapons and there are no silencers here, outside of the small weapons. Given the focus on stealth, a lot of this game becomes about finding ways to use your snipers silently. Gunshots can be muffled by other loud sounds, some that you can find in areas of the map, like firing cannons or artificially made ones by the player. The most common one being breaking generators so that they periodically make a loud sound. Snipers are also the primary way to take down military vehicles by hitting weak points, kinda like bosses, but you can also use landmines for these. Which leads me to talk about your loadout. It consists of 3 weapons: the sniper, the pistol, usually silenced, and another gun, usually an automatic, that really just exists for when you get caught. And I do think it's something more hardcore players and completionists might never use, if they're trying to go for a complete stealth run. And these guns, of course, aren't very quiet, and they don't get muffled by the loud sounds like the sniper. You can also carry a set number of other items like grenades and medkits, and it's up to you to balance that. The items you can choose from, including guns, are based on your level. Yes, this game has a leveling system that you get by playing missions objectives, obviously, but also side objectives, and being proficient in the main focuses of the game, like being a good sniper and being stealthy. And it's okay, there isn't a huge variation between guns to make these changes very important. Overall, it's an alright game, a 6 out of 10. It's small, but it's also trying new things, and it's better for it. I would recommend this one if you find it at a low price, which you probably can, as it is getting to be an old game by the fast world of video games standards. And it does let me interested in playing its sequel and seeing if it's learned from this game, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, I thank you for watching, I hope to see you again, so please subscribe, leave a like, and all that stuff, comments, you know. Good night.